Greetings, family. Peace and love to you and yours. This is Guru, and thanks for visiting my channel. Family, this video is about police officers who overwhelmingly agree that the bad cops aren't held accountable. There's at least one belief officers and protesters have in common. Family, the content is provided by Ryan Riley of the Huffington Post, and with that said, let's go to the story. So, family, U.S. police officers largely believe high-profile deaths of black people at the hands of law enforcement officers have made their jobs more difficult, according to a new national survey. They're also skeptical of the protests that have followed those tragic incidents. But there's one key issue where it turns out protesters and law enforcement officers overwhelmingly agree. Bad cops aren't held accountable. 72% of U.S. police officers do not believe that officers who consistently do a poor job are held accountable, according to a new Pew Research Center survey conducted by the National Police Research Platform. Asked whether they agree with the idea that officers who consistently do a poor job are held accountable, 47% of officers disagreed and 25% strongly disagreed. Barely 1/4 of officers surveyed either agreed or strongly agreed that officers who do a poor job are held accountable. 24% agreed, while just 3% strongly agreed. The majority of officers, 53%, either disagreed or strongly disagreed that the disciplinary process at their agency is fair, while a combined 46% agreed or strongly agreed that it is fair. The Pew Research Center's survey was conducted last year and involved nearly 8,000 law enforcement officers. Many of the other results of the survey will not be terribly surprising to those paying close attention to the tensions between law enforcement and many of the communities they patrol. It found that most officers don't believe the public understands the risk and challenges of being a police officer, for example. But the survey does reveal deep divisions within the law enforcement community. Before I continue, family, as you can see from this picture, it says why police reform needs to be an inside job. We'll only see change if they overhaul the culture of law enforcement. That surely is debatable. Well, continuing on, it says while the majority of black officers, 69%, believe protesters are motivated at least in part by a legitimate interest in bringing about police accountability, just 27% of white officers believe the same thing. The survey also found that the overwhelming majority of white officers, 92%, believe the country has already made the needed changes to achieve racial equality, a view shared by just 8% of African American citizens and by a comparatively low percent of the public at large. Overall, the surveys find that police are significantly more likely than the public to say the country has made the changes necessary to give blacks equal rights with whites, 80% versus 48%. The Pew Research Center said in a report, quote, by contrast, half of the public believes the country still needs to make changes to achieve racial equality, a view shared by only 16% of police. The Justice Department's forthcoming report on the Chicago Police Department is likely to focus on how many of the nation's law enforcement agencies fail to hold officers accountable when they engage in misconduct. Under Obama, Department of Justice Civil Rights Division has taken a more aggressive approach to addressing systematic problems of police misconduct, and many of its reports on police departments have focused on problems in their internal affairs systems. But Senator Jeff Sessions, the Republican of Alabama, who is all but certain to be confirmed as President-elect Donald Trump's Attorney General, indicated Tuesday that he'd be hesitant to pursue consent decrees with police departments where federal investigators have found patterns of unconstitutional conduct, in part because having Department of Justice say an agency is systematically failing would be bad for officer morale. So, family, as you just heard, Senator Jeff Sessions, President-elect Donald Trump's Attorney General, likely to be confirmed, is already siding with the police because, as he says, he does not want to make it bad for officer morale. So in other words, he's not going to take any action either. So, as much as we blame the Obama administration for not doing anything, you can best believe that this new kangaroo administration coming in surely will not be doing anything anytime soon, and that is a shame. Family, that's the extent of this video. I really appreciate your patience and time watching. It's very late where I live and I'm tired from work, but I thank you for watching and I thank you for your support. This is Guru. Peace and love to you and yours, and until the next video, take the time to love yourself. Peace out.